I show up every Saturday and I don't believe anything.
Like that, they said don't wear earrings, so I left.
Now, the main doctrinal issue that I have
every year, people enter the Seventh-day Adventist church and get baptized to become members of the church. Usually, this is through in-person or media evangelism or the activities of missionaries or others. However, there are some people who leave the Seventh-day Adventist church each year. But the question is, why would people choose to leave a church that is considered the remnant church? In this video, we'll be looking at some reasons why people leave the Seventh-day Adventist church each year. So if this sounds like something you might be interested in, you know what to do. Do keep watching and don't go anywhere. You are welcome back. As I said, each year there are some people who leave the Seventh-day Adventist church, and sometimes we wonder why this happens. Usually, only few people are able to share the reasons why they left the church, with many keeping it to themselves. Based on a survey, Pastor Doc Batchelor shared some 11 to 12 reasons why people stop attending church. And so if a church member is not attending church and they are not giving you reasons why they are not coming, it could be one of these reasons.
What are some of the reasons that people stop attending? I've got about a dozen here. One, peer pressure. Their friends aren't going, or maybe they're being teased for doing it. Distracted by the busyness of life. Conflict with another member. They say, well, the church was run by a clique, and they had some run-in. About 12% had some problem with somebody or some group. They felt they failed to live up to the standards, and they felt guilty or uncomfortable. Others, maybe only about 10%, had doctrinal doubts. We think people stop going because of doctrine.
All right, this is so important. Doctrinal doubt is one of the major reasons why people leave the Seventh-day Adventist church each year. They stop believing one or more doctrines of the church because they found new light, they found new interpretations, they found new message. A classical example is this sister here who left the church because she had doubt about one of our doctrines. She came to believe that the Sabbath is not a weekly cycle but could fall on any other day.
Now, the main doctrinal issue that I have is the idea that the Sabbath always falls on a Saturday, that the Sabbath is a continuous weekly cycle, uninterrupted, that falls on a Saturday. And we say this and we believe this not because the Bible actually tells us this, but because we say Ellen White says it's a continuous cycle that falls on the Saturday. And we do this because the Jews also keep the Saturday Sabbath. And our argument is that we can't imagine ever the Jews giving up the Sabbath because they steeped in tradition. So that must be the Sabbath. So I hope you understand that those reasonings, they're not biblical.
I think this idea of Sabbath not being a weekly cycle is problematic. This is because there is no historical records in the lives of God's people that proved that the Sabbath was not a weekly cycle. And also, when we come to the Bible, there is no single verse that proves that the Sabbath is not a weekly cycle. So let's move on with the reasons why people stop attending the Seventh-day Adventist church each year.
Maybe it's family home responsibilities prevented attendance. They just felt they were too busy. 17%. So that church members seemed hypocritical or judgmental. Have you heard that one before?
Yes, this is one of the serious reasons why people stop attending the SDA church each year. They find some of the members to be hypocrites and judgmental. Let's listen to what this lady said about this issue. Finding church members to be judgmental and hypocrites.
I also began to see certain individuals that back in the day, there was just a small leaven of legalism, and it had now led to like really extreme and cultic ideas. One such ideas was that, a friend of mine, as we were talking, began to explain that wearing long sleeve shirts were healthier than wearing short sleeve shirts, even if you were in the confines of your own home. And so a basic t-shirt that had a short sleeve it's not as healthy as wearing a long sleeve shirt. Now, there's nothing really wrong with that, but what I had a problem was, you know, the person began to explain, now, if I know that wearing long sleeve shirt is healthier and I choose not to, then of course I'm sinning against God by not choosing the healthier thing, and so I'm forfeiting my salvation. You heard me right. Salvation being forfeited over t-shirts.
Finding church members to be judgmental and hypocrites. This is one of the serious reasons why people stop attending the SDA church each year. Alright, so I think these are just few reasons why people stop attending the Seventh-day Adventist church each year. People are also giving different reasons on YouTube and on Facebook why they left the church. But one of them that caught my attention, or one of them that was interesting to me, was a lady who said she left the church all because of earrings. She could not stop wearing earrings, and she always felt uncomfortable whenever she wears earring and attend the SDA church. So she eventually had to stop the church.
Like that, they said don't wear earrings, so I left.
So you left the SDA church because
me, I love earrings, big ones. So I couldn't survive there, you know.
Yeah.
And they allowed you to attend with earring for some time, but later on,
they had to tell you that
so
you need to get it off.
I had to leave, but I love that church because of this.
So the question is, should earrings prevent someone from staying in the Seventh-day Adventist church? I don't know why, because of earrings, this lady could not stay in the church. She felt uncomfortable wearing earrings in the church, and so she had to leave. That is her personal decision, and so I cannot comment more on that. I have this one thing to say. No matter what, there are going to be people who will not be able to stay in the church, who will leave the church eventually. And if this happens, it shouldn't be to our surprise, because it just happens in other churches too. Maybe at first you were not Seventh-day Adventist, but at one point in your life, your denomination lost you to the Seventh-day Adventist church, and it is the same thing with the SDA church too. We lose our members to other denominations, and this is something I see to be normal because it happens everywhere. But I think we shouldn't leave those who stop attending the church. We should continue visiting them. We should continue to speak with them. We should continue to befriend them, and who knows, maybe they may decide to come back. Of course, there are people who stopped the church and they returned. So we should not see those who leave the Seventh-day Adventist church as enemies. And we should not see them as people who have left the church and they're not going to get salvation because they have left the remnant church. We should always be praying for them. We should always keep contacting them. We should always keep visiting them and keep the friendship, all right? And they may come back. So once again, these are some common reasons why people choose to stop attending the Seventh-day Adventist church each year. Alright, so this is all that I had for you today. If this video was helpful, like, comment, and share with friends. Thanks for watching. See you soon.